There is a sentence that has crossed centuries and survived time, as if it carried within itself a key to understanding the very universe. It is written on the Emerald Tablet, an enigmatic text attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, and it says, "What is above is like what is below." At first glance, it may seem like just a metaphor, but when we look more closely, we realize that this simple statement holds profound wisdom, uniting human experience with cosmic order. It is not merely abstract philosophy. It is a way of interpreting life and of understanding why the apparent chaos we face may, in fact, conceal an invisible order. Who has never felt lost in the disorder of the world? Who has never asked themselves why there is pain, injustice, or situations that seem to make no sense? This phrase from Hermes arises precisely as a reminder that everything is connected. What appears fragmented is bound together by universal laws that operate both on the great scale and the small, both on the outside and the inside. The principle of correspondence at the heart of the Emerald Tablet states, "As it is above, so it is below. As it is within, so it is without." This means that the universe is not made up of isolated parts, but of reflections repeating across different levels. The macrocosm, represented by stars, planets, and galaxies, is mirrored in the microcosm, in each atom, each cell, each heartbeat. If we pay attention, we see how this principle is confirmed in everyday life. The cycle of the seasons repeats within us in the cycle of emotions, of learning, and even of aging. Human breathing, with its constant rhythm of inhaling and exhaling, mirrors the expansion and contraction that govern the tides and even the birth and death of stars. Even a simple plant that sprouts, grows, blooms, and withers reflects the universal order that governs everything. But Hermes did not stop at above and below. He also revealed, "As it is within, so it is without." This is perhaps the most transformative aspect of the tablet. The idea that the world around us reflects what we carry inside is powerful. When we cultivate thoughts of calm and harmony, what we see around us tends to align with that frequency. When we are dominated by fear, anger, or inner chaos, reality usually mirrors that same pattern. This is not magic, but a natural law. Our inner states influence our choices, our actions, and even the way we interpret what happens to us. That is why two people can go through the same situation and perceive it in completely different ways. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. One finds meaning, the other gets lost in emptiness. Understanding this is more than an intellectual exercise. It is a practical way of living. Hermes invites us to observe life's details as mirrors of a greater order. By breathing consciously, by gazing at the sky, by tending to a garden, we can see reflections of the same universal principle. The micro connects to the macro. The invisible reveals itself in the visible. And here the teaching becomes even deeper. Recognizing this correspondence also means taking responsibility. If what is within reflects outward, then caring for our inner world is not just a personal act, but a contribution to the harmony of all that exists. By transforming thoughts, emotions, and actions, we actively participate in universal order. The next time you feel surrounded by chaos, remember this principle. The chaos you perceive may be only part of a greater pattern, invisible at that moment, but essential within a larger whole. Look at the sky and notice. The stars are not in disorder, they follow cycles. Likewise, your life also moves in cycles that often can only be fully understood when viewed in perspective. This is the legacy of the Emerald Tablet, an ancient wisdom that remains alive because it speaks of something that has never changed, the inseparable bond between us and the cosmos. What is above is like what is below. What is below is like what is above. What is within reflects outward, and what is outward mirrors what is within. To understand this is to rediscover the hidden order that has always been present. It is to realize that we never walk alone, and that each step, each choice, and each thought is part of a cosmic dance that includes us. And when this awareness awakens, chaos loses its power. It reveals itself as part of a greater harmony, in which even the most difficult moments have their place. This is the true secret of the Emerald Tablet, the wisdom that there is no separation but correspondence, and that to live in harmony with this principle is to live in tune with the universe itself.